A judge has rejected Elon Musk's xAI bid to pause Minnesota's law banning AI nudification tools. That means the law, which outlaws using artificial intelligence to create fake nude images of real people, went into effect as scheduled on August 1st. A full hearing on the company's broader challenge to the law is set for later in August.
The primary election for Minnesota is about 8 days away, and this week, two of the top Democratic candidates for U.S. Senate stopped in Duluth to share their goals before voters hit the polls. Primary election voting begins on Tuesday, August 11th, where voters can decide whether Craig or Flanagan will be on the ballot for the November general election.
Vance Belter is set to appear in state court for the first time later today, less than 2 weeks after his federal sentencing in the Minnesota lawmaker attacks. Belter, now booked into the Hennepin County Jail, faces 8 state counts, including 2 first-degree premeditated murder charges in the killings of former House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, plus multiple counts of attempted first-degree murder of other lawmakers.
Sheila St. Clair has been missing from Duluth for nearly 11 years, and now her daughter Stephanie has been reported missing in Moorhead. The Moorhead Police Department says Stephanie St. Clair was last seen on June 6th at her residence on the 800 block of 2nd Avenue North in Moorhead. If you have any information, please contact the Moorhead Police Department.
And more entry points will reopen for overnight use in the Boundary Waters starting on Wednesday. That will be in the Cowish Ranger District and LaCroix Ranger District. Now, this is phase 5 of the BWCA reopening. Now, some of those areas will only be open for day use.